Okay. Take the 3 refuges and the 8 precepts. Asking for forgiveness first. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang saranang gacchami dhammang saranang gacchami sanghang saranang gacchami tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Idang me silang Magapala Nyanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta. Sadhu. Okay. Tonight, let us start with something different. Let's start with Karuna for this week. We do compassion, guided compassion. Now here, again, relax the body. Relax the body, all the tension, all the tiredness. We put it all aside. And keep the mind open, calm and peaceful, and present and mindful. Relax on top of the head. Let go of all the tension in the forehead, face and neck and shoulders. Down to the chest area, stomach, to the back, hips, joint, to all our to all the thighs, knees, calf, ankles, soles. So relax the whole body. Now we begin with this compassion. Now let us start off with imagination. Imagine that we are in a hospital or in a ward. We can see many patients with all kinds of sickness, illness, pains, mental or physical. And here we wish them to be free from all their suffering, truly be free from all their suffering. Whatever suffering they're going through, may they be free from all that suffering. Now come back to oneself. Oneself You may have all kinds of suffering here and there. As if like you are a patient with different forms of suffering, mental or physical, that you are going through. Then you wish yourself as if like a second person or third person looking at yourself. May I be free from whatever suffering I'm going through. May I be healed from all my mental suffering. May I be cured from all my physical suffering. Whatever suffering, big or small, mental or physical, may I be truly be free from all this suffering. May I too be free from all the suffering from day to day. And may I too be free from the suffering of the rounds of samsara. Whatever suffering I'm going through, may I be free from all this suffering. Whatever mental or physical suffering, may I be healed from all this suffering. Whatever suffering due to the cause of samsara, may I be free from all those suffering. Now let us expand the heart of compassion, the heart of karuna, reaching out to all the beings around here in this meditation center, in the neighborhood, in the locality, whether they are humans or non-humans, guardian devas of this center, other devas around here. To the animals, big or small, seen or unseen, to the petas, unfortunate beings, may all of us here, whatever suffering that we are going through, may we all be free from all those suffering. Whatever mental sickness, mental illness that we are going through, may we all be healed. Whatever physical suffering that we're going through, may we all be cured. Whatever suffering that we are going through from day to day, may we all be free from all this suffering. May we all too be free from all the suffering due to the cause of samsara. Whatever mental or physical pain we are going through, may we all be healed from all this suffering. Whatever suffering we go through from day to day, may we all be free from all this suffering. And whatever suffering we go through due to the samsara, may we be free from all this suffering. Now let us expand our compassion. Let us expand our compassion to all the beings in this country. All beings, humans or non-humans, devas, petas, animals, whatever they are or whoever they are, without exception. May all beings in this country, whatever mental sickness or illness they are going through, may they be free from all this suffering. Whatever physical pain they are going through, may they be free from all that suffering. May all beings in this country, whatever suffering they go through from day to day, may they be free from all those suffering. And whatever suffering due to this cause of samsara, may they be free from all this suffering. Now let us expand. Let us expand the compassion, reaching out to the whole wide world. May they be our loved ones near or far away. Or those whom we do not know wherever they are in this world. To those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. To all, to all the garden devas of the sasana, to all other devas residing in this world, to all the petas, spirits, to all the animals, big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. Whatever mental suffering, whatever mental illness they are going through right now, may they be free. May they be healed from all this suffering. Whatever physical pain, physical illness they are going through, may they be free. May they be healed. May they be cured from all this suffering. May all beings in this world able to live with compassion and kindness, not in cruelty or violence or war. May all beings in this world, whatever forms of suffering they are going through, may they be free from all those suffering. Whatever suffering they go through from day to day, on a daily basis, may they too be free from all those suffering. And whatever suffering they go through from this cycle of birth and rebirth, may they too be free from all those suffering. May all beings, whatever suffering they're going through right now, mental or physical, may they be free. May they be cured from all this suffering. Whatever suffering they go through their daily basis, on their daily basis, may they be free from all those suffering. May all beings in this world, whatever suffering they go through due to the cause of birth and rebirth, may they too be free from all those suffering. Now let us expand the compassion as far as the heart can go, touching to all beings from all this universe or universes, all beings from the highest planes of existence down to the lowest planes of existence, and all beings in all the world systems. Whatever mental suffering, mental illness that they are going through, may they be healed from all this mental suffering. Whatever physical suffering they are going through right now, may they too be cured from all those suffering. Whatever suffering they go through on their daily basis, may they be free from all those suffering. And whatever suffering they go through due to the cycle of birth and rebirth, May they be free from all the suffering. Whatever suffering they go through from mind and body at this moment, may all beings be free from all their suffering. Whatever suffering they go through on a day-to-day basis, may they be free from all their suffering. And whatever suffering they go through from the rounds of samsara, may all beings be free from all their suffering. May all beings be free from all their suffering. We slowly let go. We let go of the compassion. Bring the mind back to the body again. Feel the body. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Then we can slowly open our eyes. All right. Today's Tuesday. So on Sunday night, we were talking about that a yogi must learn and do to differentiate the concept and the actual object of meditation. If the yogi do not know how these two involve and how they go very closely connected to our meditation, now if yogi do not know how to differentiate them, then that can be a big problem to the yogis in terms of progress and so on. As I said, if the yogi is not careful, very easily the thinking mind and also the conceptual mind will start to come into your noting. For example, if you take notice of the rising and falling, then if you are not careful, you'll be start thinking, is this fire element, wind element? No? You try to take note of those things. You try to put a lot of words and a lot of commentaries onto your noting. The mind is not squarely paying attention to what is going on, but the mind is also interested in satisfying that desire to analyze, conceptually analyze. We do this, all this analyzing and thinking, because this is the part of the nature of the mind. As I said that day, when we eat, we bite something, then naturally the mind goes into this is a vegetable, this is this, and this is that. Naturally. But if we are not careful, you're not mindful of the thinking or the concept that arisen, then we tend to fall into those thoughts rather than you're supposed to know you're chewing, tasting, and so on. This thinking is not going to go away. They are going to be there for your whole life. But as a yogi, when we begin to train in this area, then the yogi knows how to handbrake the thoughts, uh, so that it doesn't go, so that when the attention is not onto it, it doesn't grow so much, and the mind will naturally goes back um, to the object of the meditation. In other words, you can able to differentiate those two. You know this is not, you're not supposed to take up, and you're not, you know what object you're supposed to take up, or object you're supposed to pay attention to. And this is very important. It looks simple, but our mind is so strongly attached to our concept, to our thinking, analysis, planning, and so on. So that is difficult to undo, unless you have that mindfulness. So it's important for us to take notice of those things. As I said, also like your labeling also. Labeling is a very helpful tool to use it whenever we are beginner, and also whenever we are not clear in the meditation, even you are advanced yogi, or even first few days of meditation, when things are not clear. This labeling process is very helpful to direct the mind onto the object. It's part of the Pali word is called vitaka, but why don't you have to go into all kinds of words and so on. Doing it already difficult. Now I want to think of Pali words somehow. It's not that you've not heard of this before. You heard this before. But it's just a nature of vitaka. It's just to direct the mind. So there's a lot of the labeling act to direct the mind onto the object again and again, which is good for the beginners especially, because they are not so used to the nature of the noting. So the thing is that when you begin to develop further, when your objects change faster, clearer, then that time you may need to drop your labeling, because that time the labeling can be a hindrance to your noting mind. Yeah. So, so, so this is how we begin to use the concept to help us in many ways. Yeah? Supposing you are very clear at certain moment, but after a while you may be getting sleepy, drowsy. At that time, labeling is very useful. That you bring back the labeling to reignite the mindfulness again, or to re-strengthen the mindfulness. And that can be very helpful. Then, when the mind becomes clear again, then we drop the labeling and we continue on the noting. So for those yogi who can able to do that, then well and good. But if you're a beginner, you make sure you keep labeling, rising, falling, sitting, touching, pain, pulling throughout the whole day until you get the hang of it. Then if you don't do that, your development is going to be slow. Yeah? So those are the things that I've mentioned. That a yogi must learn how to know the differentiation of this object. Which one you are supposed to take up, which one you are not supposed to take up. Yeah? Now, in more technical term when you read the Dhamma books, especially on Vipassana. They use the word domain. Domain of the object. Domain means the boundary. That means within this boundary, within this domain, is what are the objects they are supposed to take up. Out of the domain, out of that boundary, you are not supposed to take up. Yeah? So they use the word domain. Yeah? Now the next thing about this development of this satipatthana and the precision of noticing. Now, when you're able to differentiate which one you are supposed to take up and which one you are not supposed to take up, then there'll become to a time. Hold on now. Then you'll come to a time. You'll come to a time that you must take up those objects that they are supposed to pay attention to and truly pay attention to it. Because at that moment is to what we call the word seeing things as they really are. Yatta Bhuta Jnana Dasana. Seeing things as they really are. Now, this word, now, seeing things as they really are, it's so easy to quote, So easy to quote. Every time and now and then I hear Dhamma talk here and there. It's so easy people can quote. But when the yogi actually doing it, even your mindfulness is so strong, clear. When you come to in front of what is going on, you'll be reluctant even to see it also. That's how strong what we call our ignorance is. Moha. Not your greed, your anger, but and moha is the one that is to the because you has wisdom. And when you want to see it, that is moha. And they are two are completely opposite of each other. And yet it's the most difficult to see. Most difficult to see, you still think you are right one, You still think you're right. You still think you're okay. You still think those who no problem. That is how the moha. Okay? I don't know whether you can see me or not in the internet. Hold on. Okay. Those people in on the online, can you all hear me? Can you all see me? Just type it somewhere there. Doesn't matter lah. Got lah. Never mind. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, yeah. All right. So, where was I? Good. Everything come back again. Now I was saying the nature of this moha is to block you from seeing things as they really are. And yet, you may not know that it's blocking you. Huh? You do not know that it's blocking you, Ulana. Okay. Now, take for example, take a simple example. Take simple example. Some people, when the pain arises, strong, clear, they just don't want to see it. It's right in front of you, but you do not want to see it. And some people believe that, thinking that the more that you retreat that you're going to go, the less pain you're going to have. It's that surrounding that idea that all these type of things are what we call moha. And of course, the moha, the delusion, is staying at the behind. But what is in the front is the desire of the thought. And they hold on to that type of view and perception. And they think that the less that you're going to, the more that you're going to meditate, the less pain you're going to have. Is it? You know that you're all laughing. No, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. But you can manage the pain much more better. Not that, not that it's going to be less painful. Yeah. You see, when the pain arises, you are being taught to pay attention to the pain. How the pain is like, how does it pulse, how does it go more, go less. And every time it arises, it becomes prominent to you, you pay attention to it. But you don't even want to see it. Even you know that you're supposed to see it, at times also you also cannot tahan. You also cannot tahan. That means you do not want to see it in a certain sense, in a certain way. What is in front of you, you still cannot want to take note of it. Huh? This is one, this is already there. It's already there. If you can see it, that means you got no problem with all the pain. But because of that, whatever idea that you're going to have around it, some people think that, my leg is going to break, my blood is not flowing, my nerves is going to get stuck, I'm going to have a physical, I'm going to be crippled, whatever nonsense they are thinking. Because of those thoughts, it's this one. It prevents them from noticing. Or they think that they are progressing, they're supposed to be less pain. Or even some yogis believe that right at the beginning, don't have to look at the pain. They already form the idea that pain not necessary to look at. What for? They think whole life full of dukkha already. You come to retreat, why? More dukkha for you. More dukkha to look at. And their teachers are teaching it in this way. So go to a retreat, even they call it Vipassana. Everything is just nice and calm and peaceful. Pain come in, guai, Be don't grow more, just be there. Metta to you, metta. Nonsense. This is exactly your delusion. It's taking place right now. Exactly. It's just the one to see what is going on. You're supposed to see things as they really are, but right at the front, you don't want to see it. Yeah. Or even, like for example, you take uh, take for example the walking. Take for example the walking. You walk, lifting, pushing, dropping. Suddenly you fall. Not fall, sorry. You go imbalance lah, your leg pop, ayo, see lah. But the bo kam guan, you not feel happy. You just want to walk again, you go, and then suddenly it go, ayo, and walk, ayo. That that leg that when it goes through, that you go imbalance, this is part of your observation. That is supposed to be part of your object of noting. But your idea is that, kia see, walk with them, walk the time that you walk, must be sui, sun, lifting, pushing, dropping, lifting, pushing, dropping. Cannot have like that, cannot have like that. If you don't see it as it is right in front of you, you already think that this is not the right one. The right one's supposed to be just a nice walking. See, you got into it. How many times we walk, we get imbalance per day, and we don't see it as part of the whole object. We see it as something disturbing. Something is not right. That's where your mindfulness keep on breaking. Yeah. If you just learn to incorporate, and they walk after a number of steps, then it goes imbalance. The leg may be stretched out a little bit further. Pay attention to this thing. Pay attention to it. And then after that, when you start to walk again, then you carry on from where you left off, even from there. And then after that, carry on. And then mindfulness becomes continuous slow. You see what I mean right now? What is right in front of you, you're not watching it now. You're not carefully paying attention to it. You just want things to go onto your way. Yeah. Or, like for example, thinking mind. Yeah. Now sometimes, for example, you watch your rising and falling, you watch your sensation and all that thing. While you're watching it, there's a bit of commentary that the mind won't quiet. There's a bit of chit-chatting at the background. While you can still watch it, you can still watch, and then hear chi-chi-cha-cha, a little bit not so loud, and watch and watch. Then, although you can able to notice this too, but you not feel happy about your noting because you just only want the rising and falling very nicely. You don't want that little noise that's happening during in your noting. You already become selective already. You see what I mean? It doesn't really kacau you. It's just that you don't like it. It becomes a big, just because you don't like it, you don't like it to be there. Therefore, it becomes something you think that it as a disturbance. Oh, my rising, falling, I cannot see clearly. Or because these little thoughts are hanging around. See what I mean right now? Now, if you change that attitude now, just by thoughts are there, rising, falling also there. Sekali take lah. See them as they are. That means you see the thoughts and you see the rising and falling too. Then you don't fight over them. You don't go and fight with the thinking mind. Then you begin to incorporate it, aware of it, aware of the rising, falling together, because both are happening together. And at that time, you can able to notice those things together. And you also know that you are not fall into that trap. Or you don't fall into the story of the thoughts. And when you do that, you begin to see things as they really are because it is being presented right like that, not what you want or what you don't want. Yeah. As simple as that. But I tell you, the moha is to make you to see or to think what's supposed to be right now. Yeah. You see what I mean right now? And there are many ways, many ways. For example, again, rising and falling, movement of the rising and falling. You are familiar with a certain pattern of the movement. As you move this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, suddenly one day, the rising falling go round and round. Mana boleh, this rising and falling. You open up your eyes and you look, still go straight, ma. Go. You put your hand here, posua. But then you close your eye, you pay attention. How come it can go round and round and round? Then you bo kam guan, You don't like it. You don't like it because it is not within your comfort zone of your noting. Suddenly, certain things change. You are not comfortable with it. You want things happen the way you want it. So what is that? Again, here is craving. In front is craving, behind is this moha that is pulling the string right now. You want to see that one? Okay, see that one. See what you like to see. See like that. Then your progress become like that only. So it's as easy to speak about it. I mean, even right now, we talk about it. Tomorrow you're going to do the same thing. Because you're not going to go suddenly remove all those things overnight. Not like here remove, tomorrow arahan already. No. You won't. It's not as easy. You see, Vipassana, Vipassana, the instruction how to do the lifting, pushing, dropping, rising, falling, that one is not difficult to teach. That is not difficult to teach. You go and read the book also, you can do. But it's the other thing, which is your defilement, your moha, your craving, and your attachment, and whatever nonsense your mind is, that is difficult to teach. Because you are not only doing something, but when everything comes, all your defilements come together with it. That you need teachers. That you need teachers to help you to untangle all this problem. Yeah. If you get the right teacher, you get the crazy teacher also, you follow it, you become crazy. So you have to be careful. Yeah. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of times, you're going to see things, the phenomena is going to be very new to you. A lot of things is going to change out of your expectation. Even no matter how you think about it, no matter how many times you read about, the progress of insight, this insight like that, you memorize it, every word of it. But actually, when you're doing it right at the meditation, you're going to have you don't even know that you're being caught with so many things, with all this delusion and craving. Yeah? So that is difficult to do. That is difficult to teach. And sometimes when you tell them, they are so stubborn, they just don't want to let go of all that is on, all their craving and so on. So difficult to teach because of that. Yeah? So here I'm trying to say is that a yogi must learn again and again. You must put yourself into it. Whatever object that's going to arise in your lifting, pushing, dropping, pay attention to it, no matter how small they are, no matter how insignificant they are. These are what you are supposed to do, Yeah. So you pay attention to those things. Now, when you pay attention to these things, then you're going to find there's a lot of phenomena that is going to arise in your meditation. You're going to be able to differentiate different phenomena with all the different characteristics. Yeah? That is to say, you can notice this rising and falling, but also you can notice the heat element also. Rising, falling, and heat element, they are different phenomena. Connected with the body, but they are different. Okay? So you know the different nature of what is happening with them. Uh, Vipassana, when we look at objects, you have to look at the object that can be directly known by you. What is directly known by you? Known by the attention, in other words. Yeah. Then these are the objects of the body and objects of the mind. They are not created. They are when the condition is there, they arises. When the condition disappear, they will disappear. Yeah. So these are the objects that you need to pay attention to. The Buddha has already helped us that all these objects falls under the four foundation of mindfulness. Objects are four foundation of mindfulness. If you want to develop into all the way to enlightenment, then we take these objects of four foundation of mindfulness. In other words, they are just mind and bodily objects. You take out of that object, that is to say, into concept and so on, then there's no enlightenment is going to be. The discovery of this nature of these elements and its characteristic is very uniquely to the Buddha. You cannot do it yourself. All of us cannot do it ourselves. If we can do it ourselves, we also become the Buddha, Samma Sambuddha. So we cannot do that. So as a disciples of the Dhamma, of the Buddha, so we have to follow from teachers to teachers. Then only it can be guided from to able to see the true nature of things as they really are. Yeah. That means while you're paying attention to it, all the bias of your thoughts and thinking, it's all put aside. Only truly seeing things as it is. So as I said, you have to, in the beginning part, you have to bring your mind again and again to notice these objects. The teachers given to you, okay, pay attention to rising and falling. Pay attention to the if there's a vibration in the chest, or there's a pulsation in the chest, in the heart area. Pay attention to those things. Yeah? Even sometimes with this like pulsation of the heart, some yogis, when it happens for the first time, some yogis think that they're going to have a heart attack, or kiasi, or going to have a stroke. They thought that, they really thought that it's going to have some problem. I mean, I've been hearing this for many times already. Not every yogi, but many times. They're afraid there's something wrong with them. Maybe because they are in their 60, 70 BC age, So there's a fear in there, But when you talk about earlier age one, they never thought of all this heart problem or whatever. But when you are in the 60s, anything to do with the heart, you have a sense of fear is there. So that when you connect, of course, I said when you connect to all the concept, then all these things come in. So therefore, there's nothing is going to happen to you. Nothing is going to happen. What you need to do is that even there's a pulsation that arises during this time, pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. Beep, beep, pop, pop, beep, beep, pop, pop. One go fast, one go slow. After it go slow, go fast. You you won't die. Uh, it's perfectly all right. It's perfectly all right. Pay attention to them. Then you pay attention to these things. That when you are more familiar with it, then you kind of like surrender and truly pay attention to it. Well and good, But how fast you're going to go through it, it all depends on your wisdom factor and your confidence. Some people, when these things comes in, there's a lot of skeptical doubt that's going to around it. Macam, is cybo, can or not, is this one or not, can it going to have a lot of problem for me or not, this and that. There's a lot of doubt that's surrounding it before they want to venture into the next that object. So there can be a problem. As I said, seeing things as they really are is not easy for every yogi, actually. So you got to trust. You got to trust not the teacher. Actually, you got to trust your mindfulness. You build up that mindfulness. You got to trust that you notice something, pay attention to it. You think too much, then it's where it's going to cloud all your mindfulness, all your clarity of your mind. So trust it. So if there's a little bit of pulling, a little bit of rising, falling is going to change in different form, in different ways, then take note of those characteristics. It's perfectly all right. Even every now and then, if you come to the in-breath, out-breath also, just so happen that it comes to the in-breath, out-breath. Then you pay attention to the in-breath, out-breath, whether it's long, short, fast, slow, whether it's going round or whatever that's going on. Sometimes one is longer, one is shorter, one is deeper, one is shallower. Both are shallow, both are long. You see its characteristic, how it change. Now, if you're able to pay attention in that way, then you are doing Vipassana with the Anapana. Yeah? But if you're just doing, because of your, sometimes for a lot of people, because of their previous habit of doing Samatha meditation, they do not know how to differentiate between Samatha and Vipassana. The moment they touch their in-breath, out-breath, they already in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath. The more that they know, the more they go into very peaceful, very calm. If that's something happened to you like that, that means you're not in Vipassana anymore. You're already going up. You're taking the right object, but you're not scrutinizing, you're not seeing things as they really are. You're just relaxed with the object. You're just with, analytical. You're not seeing it precisely. You're not seeing thoroughly. So too that there are yogis, when it comes to the rising and falling, they too also adopt that concept, adopt that idea that just rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall. You ask them, is there any changes in the rising and falling? Are there any long, short, fast, slow? Do I have to know that thing, Bante? No, you can tell them in the Dhamma talk, for again and again, you have to see things clearly with that one. When they come to the interview, they can ask you, I didn't know that you are supposed to notice all these things. You see? Yeah, people like that. Yeah. Not many lah, but once in a while lah, when they speak in that way, I just want to go and get at them straight away. I see. Sometimes beta han, they don't listen to you what they are talking. They have sometimes they have their own dense idea. It's already like in the wall in front of you. No matter what you talk to them, although their eyes looking at you, but their mind is already blocked. There's a big wall there. And sometimes we can know what they are doing. Sometimes we know, after you interview a number of yogis so many times, and you know that this type of people are not listening to you. They have their own idea. While you are talking, giving instruction, they're already instructing themselves already. uh. They're already going in their head already. So how they are going to develop dense? Uh, Sometimes the Sada Upandita use the word chronic yogis. Chronic yogis. Anyway, they have their own idea, they have their own listen. No matter how many times they come into a retreat, all their ideas are so strong. When things are happening right in front of them, they just don't want to see it or cannot understand the concept, what they are supposed to do. So come back again. So a yogi need to pay attention to all these type of phenomena that is like hardness, softness, lifting, pushing, dropping, and so on. And that is those phenomena of the body, especially when you're to begin and to have a deep mindfulness, strong, continuous mindfulness. Uh, Although you have mind and physical phenomena, it's more advisable that you start off with a physical object first, rather than taking too much on the mental object. Mental object is not going to run away. It's going to disappear. Don't worry, you know. But what is important is that to build up that mindfulness, to build up that mindfulness using a proper objects. I've seen people, you know, using mental objects when they are beginner to meditate, to beginning to meditate. When they begin to meditate using a mental object, that is where the mindfulness is going to be very shallow, not continuous. Sleepiness comes in, defilements come in, hindrances come in quite a lot. Unless, again, as I said, there are few and far in between. There are people who develop with any object they can develop. But most of us, it's not advisable to go on to start off with mental phenomena, even with the thinking and seeing and hearing aspect or the senses also. These phenomena of the senses, they are too strong, they are too fine for a yogi. When the object is too fine, you hold on to it, mindfulness is not going to come. Mindfulness arises with the condition when it is prominent. When something is prominent, you put your attention there, then mindfulness arises. And you see what is going on. It comes, it goes, it changes. That one is the wisdom factor, the precision arises. So you need to take the right objects. So from my experience, I do. Again, this is from my experience and my opinion is that when a yogi wants to start off with bodily phenomena first, or even with the bodily phenomena that is connected. And also the feelings, although feelings are mine, but when it's connected with the body, they also become quite cross and it's quite suitable for the yogi to develop, which is actually the pain as you begin. So it is important that we take these clear phenomena that so that our mind can able to stay onto it, pay attention to it, then mindfulness develops and sustain. So as I said the other day, last week, the condition for the mindfulness to arise, it is this prominency of an object. So a lot of times we say that when it's a prominent, you go to it, you go to it, you go to it, you go to it. Yeah. In the beginning part of your meditation, prominency of an object stays sometimes in what we call a single object, arising, falling on it. Yeah. Rising, falling. Then after that, okay, pain comes in. You note the pain. Then pain. Sometimes the pain disappear. Okay, sitting and touching come in. And not. This is in the beginning part when we pay attention to object. It happens something like that. Sometimes thinking. Yes, it happened. There's a number of times of your noting before that object on its own, it disappears. Sometimes it grows stronger, sometimes it becomes less. This is how generally a yogi begins in the Vipassana meditation. But Vipassana meditation is not going to be like that all the time. Because as you're going to go deeper into the meditation, objects is going to change much more faster than what you think it can be. But all these things gradually is going to come. Uh, uh, for example, when you begin to meditate, after some time, as you gain your momentum, you begin to notice that, for example, heart begin to pound, pop, 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 or the rising and falling begins to like stagger, a lot of staggering, a lot of stagger, go up, stagger, come back. You know, uh, Sometimes even in the walking also the same thing. It lifted not only just single lifting, but there's a many number of lifting that's taking place. So it's good. It's good that you're able to notice those type of things. Yeah? Things are changing a little bit more. Rising, falling may not be all the time going certain way, but it's going to change a different pattern, a different shape. Sometimes it's going to go sideways. Now, if you can go sideways, pay attention to it too. Don't ignore it. Don't overthink about your rising and falling. I mean, you're going to be curious. How come like that? There's a bit of curiosity. But then again, here, don't let the curiosity overwhelm you. Don't overthink the whole thing. You're supposed to be put those things aside, back again to notice what is going on and to see what is really truly going on. There'll come to a certain time that object is not going to stay there even for a few seconds. You notice it, the moment you notice it a few times, it's already going to disappear. Other things is going to arise. It may be another bodily object or mental object is going to arise. And it's going to happen like these things, it's going to change quite fast. You got no time for you to stay like in the past. You can slowly pay attention to it. Oh, very nice, very clear, and so on. Then when the objects are changing faster, and some of you are again, the doubt start coming in. If objects seeing things faster, how to be precise like that? How to be precise? The object keep on changing like that, one like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Then that's the whole again our concept. We thought that precision has to be on single object, and then you keep on noting to cho it. That's what you think. But the development of Vipassana is not like that. Development of Vipassana is that the objects will change a bit more faster. And that is precision on its own. That is the nature of noting on its own. That you touch on that, few seconds it's to disappear, next object, few seconds disappear, next object. You can't remember, although while you are meditating, you know what is going on. But when you get out of it, you don't know what you have to look at. You can't remember what is happening. And it happens to many yogis. You may think that something is wrong with you. In the past meditation, I can remember very nicely people pop up, then finish meditation, I can take up my notebook and I can write this. Now the moment I meditate, and the moment I ding dong, I wake up, I can't remember. I don't know what to write right now. Then you think that something is wrong with you. You think that you're having dementia already. That is not at all. That is the nature of how mindfulness and wisdom and concentration are working at this moment of time. So don't be too afraid of what is going on. This is part of seeing things as they really are. Because a lot of times yogis cannot remember things and they get fearful. They get fearful of what is happening. So you may think that seeing things as they really are is a simple word, but it's not. It's not because of your fear, of your skeptical doubt, of your unsurety, of your certain concept you hold on to, certain idea you hold on to. Then whatever is happening in front of you, you just do not want to see it, or you're not confident, or you're not comfortable, because it's out of your whole zone, of your comfort zone of nothing. So you got to be careful with that. You are getting the right objects already. It's not that you are still choosing, hey, this one thinking or not, or this one is the right object. Now you are already in the right objects already. You are supposed to see whatever is going on, but there's still all these things is happening there. Yeah. So all these things, you make sure you pay attention to them. Now changes is going to be much more faster, that you may not able to conceptualize if you are not meditating. It can be very fast. No matter how fast it change, however it change, just put your attention there and seeing as they really are. Then you will develop further. You will develop further. All right. So we stop here for tonight. We'll continue a little bit on tomorrow. Yeah? Okay. Idang me pawanang nippanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Ibang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sape satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu.